property in 1998, and we tore down the old home place and built ours in September of 99. I quit my job as a draftsman that I had been working for almost 11 years and quit to stay at home and raise my little man. Jeremy was about 2 years old when he could really start articulating his words. I'd go back and I said, "What are you doing, bub?" And he said, "Playing with EY." And I said, "Who's EY?" "My friend." And I said, "Oh, okay." And so I had been told by many friends that had children that they have imaginary friends. I'd be like, "Okay, what's Eli look like?" "He has the same color hair as Aunt Tam, which is a natural blonde. My sister's a very blonde. He has eyes your color, so blue eyes, I would assume." He said, "And he wears belts on his shoulders." I said, "That's pretty descriptive, you know?" And he's like, "He's my friend." I thought it was a normal result of an only child.
But Mandy was about to discover there was nothing ordinary about Eli.
That day, my son was at school, and I was home alone, cleaning house, doing my normal mommy chores. And I heard this just little laugh. It was plain as day. And I thought, and you know, I'm like, did I just hear that? Of course, nothing's there. I didn't know if it was paranormal or if it was my brain.
And Mandy's doubts would be tested again just a few nights later.
It was a normal weeknight. My husband was in bed next to me. He was already asleep. My son was in bed. Right in my right ear, on this side of the bed, it would sound like a small child saying, "Mommy." I was terrified. And I was just like, what's my son doing up? What's Jeremy doing up? You know, I do the whole, what are you doing awake? And he's not there. I did downplay a lot of it because I just figured that, hey, unless I have concrete evidence, unless I have it in front of me, it doesn't exist.
Mandy became more worried when she started to hear adult voices too.
On several occasions when I would be at home alone, I would hear what sounded like muffled conversations between a male and a female, almost as in an argument. And I'd hear footsteps down the hallway. Something in my son's room. He had this little toy piano. I would hear playing music. I felt like I was losing my mind. My husband would come home from work. I would tell him these things and he'd just, you know, roll the eyes and be like, "You know what? Your son's at school all day, you're alone, your brain's creating these noises." I said, "You're probably right." old German wooden music box. And I'd hear it play. And I'd go in, and the lid would be open on my dresser. I know that that lid can't open on its own. You have to open the hinge of the music box to get it to play. Nobody was believing me. My husband just thought I was a nut job. And, you know, my son quit having experiences. He was already at the age of where nothing was really happening to him anymore. And I thought, why am I still hearing this stuff? So I was grasping at straws. I was looking for any way to get rid of it. Just lashed out one day.
Show yourself! Show yourself!
There stood a boy, about 4 or 5 years old, exactly what my son described. I just saw the kid that my son described as Eli. I'm thinking, is this possible? Is this even possible? And I was so torn with it. I was so scared. So many questions unanswered. I need to know who this kid is. I need to know why he's here and how did he die? Started looking up deed records for the property. The family that lived there in the 1860s and 1870s was, in fact, the Derenberger family. They had came here from Germany. They had 13 children. Notice 5 of the children had died on the property from being beat. They had neck and head trauma. Started going through the children's names. Elijah Derenberger. Went by Eli Derenberger. I was floored. I had, you know, concrete evidence in front of me of what had actually happened on my property.
Child spirits are more likely to stay earthbound after traumatic death, such as a murder, because they're not really sure where they are at the time of death, and it's really difficult for them to cross over. They're not really sure of the process needed. Basically, child spirits are also still looking for their parents. They're looking for their loved ones, and when they cross over after a traumatic death like that, they're unable to find their family. So oftentimes they're wandering and looking for an answer or solution on where their family is.
Dealing with the spirit of little Eli had been traumatic enough for Mandy, but nothing could have prepared her for what happened next.
My husband had went to work, son was at school, and I go into the bathroom to get a shower.
Joyce had uncovered historical documents that appeared to prove the existence of her son's imaginary friend.
Show yourself!
But things were about to get worse.
I go into the bathroom to get a shower. Spirits knocking stuff off the bathroom shelves. And I just kept getting more fear. I was so scared. I was praying. I was praying to God. I was like, God, just get me through this. And there stands the silhouette of this man. He had a big, tall hat, but he was all black. And I throw my hair up in a towel, I throw on some pajama bottoms, and he drove me out of my house that day.
When somebody leaves a home or abandons their house because there's a haunting going on, it's possible that the spirit kind of gains power from that situation. At least psychologically, they feel that they've won in that scenario. It's believed that the best thing to do when you have a haunting is to stay in the home, not to surrender your property and your life to the spirit, but to confront that and perform a house blessing and remove the haunting.
I went to my friend's house, and I was scared. I cried all the way into town. And she said, you need to cleanse. She said, get a hold of Jackie, you need to cleanse ASAP.
When I go into a place, sometimes like pictures pop into my head, and I just would see like certain things whenever I'd walk through her house. The energy just hit you. It was so heavy, and just, you could tell that there was something. You always felt like something was watching you, or if you walked around a corner, something was gonna pop out at you.
She told me that there was a man.
You know, you could tell that that man was not nice. The father was not a good person.
That was very stern and ruled with an iron fist. She smudged with the smoke. We went to every room, every corner of the house.
And as we moved through the house, it just got heavier and heavier, the energy. And once we moved from the upstairs to the downstairs, I could feel him there. I knew he was down there. And once we got down there, I just wanted to warn him, let him know this is what's happening. He's somewhere around here, and he's not happy, that he's pissed that we're doing this.
I saw this the same black wispy mist that I saw in this figure in my bathroom. And the whole time I'm just saying the Lord's Prayer. I'm saying a prayer over my home. I'm saying a prayer over my son and my husband. I saw it lunge out, like as a hand.
I had her help me to yell at it and tell it it's leaving now. And then finally it just... It's like a bubble pops, and it just lifts. Everything lifts, and it's very light, and everything is just gone and quiet.
I learned that spirits are very real, that not all spirits are nice. I learned that if you think it's there, you're not crazy.